Good evening and welcome to the November edition of the Business Forum. First off, we wanted a special shout out to Plough Elementary, our school of the month. So if you know some folks from Plough, make sure you pat them on the back and thank them for all the great work they're doing educating our kids. While we're talking about education, we have our first Wednesday breakfast sponsor here on the show, and that is Rocky Bayou Christian School. And with them, we have a couple of wonderful students and also Dr. Michael Mosley, their superintendent. Welcome.
It's great to be here, Dave.
Yeah, we get to do this about once a year, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And you know, you always thrill me with some absolutely amazing students. And with you today, we have Duncan Foster, and you're a prefect, is that right?
Yes, sir.
We'll have to get into what that is.
Okay. And
we also have with us Ariel. Say it for me, Ariel. Shesnick. I knew I'd mess it up sooner or later. And you are a liaison for middle school.
Yes, I am.
I guess we're going to find out what that is too, aren't we? Yes. Dr. Mosley, tell us a little bit about Rocky Bayou Christian School. We're recently honored with bestschools.org. What's that all about?
They're a national organization. They run a website, and they basically rank every type of school you can imagine. So high schools, K-12s, colleges, grad schools. So they're in that business. And so we, last year in August, were recognized as one of the top 50 Christian high schools in America. And we were pretty blown away by that.
Yeah, I would support that, sure.
So that was a great honor. And one of the things I was thinking as well, okay, now that they've named you to that list, what do you do for an encore? Yeah. So we were extremely gratified to find out that they named us, this past week, they named us to the top 50 private elementary schools in America, and we were actually number 4 on that list. The other list was just top 50 alphabetized.
When you start thinking of the magnitude of the number of elementary schools in America, and top 50, that's amazing. Very good job.
And basically, when I went on the list and looked at the other schools, most of those schools are charging college prices for kindergarten. So we were very, very gratified to appear on a list like that. But it's a credit to our teachers. We've got a program that really has, as long as the school's been in existence, has sought to make the most of those early years and build a foundation for students so that they can build on that both spiritually and educationally. So.
And consistency is certainly there. Like I said, we get to visit once a year, and you bring some of your fine upcoming graduates with you, and they've always just wowed the audience for sure.
Well, that's one of the things we're going to focus on at the first Wednesday breakfast is sort of our portrait of a graduate. And so
what is the portrait of a graduate?
Well, we came up, my predecessor as superintendent asked us in an off-site session to sort of brainstorm what do we want a Rocky grad to be.
Sure.
And so we came up with a list of about 30 things, but basically they kind of boiled down into intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and leadership components, and really a young person who's dedicated to using the rest of their life to use their gifts and abilities for God's glory. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, and that really does inform how we seek to educate our students and how we relate to them and how
the cornerstone of what you do is a solid Christian education. How does that better prepare your students?
Well, our view is that we live in a tough world that has a lot of problems that need solving, and also a lot of problems that can, frankly, derail lives. People can get caught in things, and so having an idea of who God is, who you are as a person, and what your role and purpose on earth is, we think, extremely beneficial, not only for the individual, but also every community that they'll ever be in. If there's somebody that really is going to live for God, others, and self last, then they're going to just, like you said, that consistent day in, day out are going to make every place they ever live better, every association.
And the evidence shows you're not about coddling them or hiding them from the world. You're about challenging them and putting them out in the world, aren't you?
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of a misconception, I think, with Christian ed and private ed, is that you're sort of trying to kind of keep the world away from your kids. And I think as Christians, what we believe is that Christ has the answers for the world, and that our kids need to be prepared to be engaged and out there. So that's one of the things that these two, in terms of our leadership preparation, they've thrown themselves into those roles. So here are two young people that take AP classes, are active in extracurriculars and athletics and fine arts, and are also doing, basically a pretty healthy part-time job as a student leader, and
excelling at it.
And they're teenagers.
Duncan, welcome to the show. Tell us what it's like to be an RBCS Knight.
Being an RBCS Knight, I mean, Doc said it. Everything that you do, it's really in depth, and it's just a lot of fun. We take a lot of pride in our academics. Academic integrity is something that we really, really pound into the students. All of us want to be honest with our work, and we want to hold each other accountable for our work as well. So, like, if we see someone cheating or something like that, we call them out on it, pretty much.
One of the many ways RBCS prepares you for leadership, right? Tell me about the leadership roles you've enjoyed.
Well, as you said before, I'm the advancement prefect at Rocky. I was given that position by the faculty and by Doc. Thank you. But, I mean, everything that I do on that, I've done,
Yeah. Well, as you've you moved through, the ultimate goal was to get into college. Who's calling you?
Right now I've applied to Birmingham Southern College, Stanford University, and the University of Alabama.
Wow, very good.
Yeah,
I graduated Roll Tide, so
Sweet.
Very good school. And Ariel Shesnick, we have you here, and what's your favorite part about being a student at RBCS?
I would have to say my favorite part at being at Rocky is, even though that we are a school, it feels a lot more like a family, because everyone there is always looking out for you and has your best interest in mind. And whenever you do something that helps you grow as a person, they're there for you, cheering you on. If something bad happens in your life, you have a whole family there that will support you through everything and is kind and understanding.
Dr. Mosley alluded to the fact that you're very involved. Tell us about some of the activities you're involved in.
Would you like the list alphabetically or by order of importance?
We have only about a minute and a half left, so we better give me the abbreviated list.
I am involved in our academic team. I'm involved in many of our clubs, our SGA. I'm involved in almost every theater production that we do. I'm involved in our choirs. I run track in the spring. I sometimes run cross country, but I'm not long distance, so that's by ear. What else do? I do so much.
You're also involved in student discipleship of middle school students. What in the world is that?
We have our high school SGA, but we also have our middle school SGA, and that's teaching them and helping them grow to become leaders so that when they reach the high school level, they can grow even more to become good Christian leaders in the world outside of Rocky once they leave.
Sure.
And I'm there to help them grow and help guide them and be a mentor to them and be someone who has been through it all, so I can help them through the times that they're
avoid
going
some of the
through.
pitfalls. Sure.
Yes,
and what kind of
definitely.
colleges are you expecting to apply to?
Well, I'm looking at two right now, Cooper Union in New York and Harvard, because Cooper Union and Harvard both have very good chemical engineering programs, and
Awesome.
Cooper Union also has a good theater program.
God bless you. As always, Dr. Mosley, Jordan and Ariel certainly are a perfect example of the kind of students that Rocky Bayou puts out. We do appreciate all the wonderful things you're doing for our community and helping us educate our youngsters and providing them a good Christian cornerstone to that leadership. And thank you very much for being the sponsor for the coffee. We look forward to seeing you next week, I guess it is, and it'll be awesome. And I look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you very much, all three of you, for coming here and being on part of the program.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
God bless you all. Don't go away. We've got another great guest coming up, and you're going to want to hear what they have to say, so stay tuned.